It's a great night to make homemade potato soup with freshly dug potatoes from the garden. Coming up next. Hi everybody, thanks so much for stopping by the Homestead. My name is Sarah from Living Traditions Homestead, and it is getting chilly. And it is time for soup. It is definitely soup and stew weather, and it's a perfect day to make homemade potato soup. Now, just a few days ago, Kevin and I dug up some of our potatoes. We still have some out in the garden that need to be dug up. But today he is out hunting, bow hunting for deer, and so I thought, you know, it's going to be chilly when he gets home. Let's try to whip up some homemade tomato soup, and I think I will probably make some drop biscuits to go with it too. But today I'm going to show you how to make homemade potato soup. It is super easy. It is absolutely delicious. I know you will love it. So we are starting with, obviously, our potatoes. I have them washed. When you dig them out of the garden, you don't wash them, you leave them dirty. So I have scrubbed them and washed them. I need to peel these and dice these, but I also have some other veggies to bring into the equation. So let me bring those out. Okay, so I brought some other things out. We're going to start with dicing up a whole onion. We're going to put that in our pot. We're going to dice up 2 ribs of celery and put that in there. And we're going to put about a 1/4 cup of some kind of fat in there. I'm going to use lard. You could use butter, you could use olive oil, vegetable oil, bacon grease would taste really nice in this. But I'm going to use about a 1/4 cup of lard. And we're going to fry the onions and the celery in there, and then we're not going to take that out. It's going to be incorporated into the soup, and it's going to make a really, really nice flavor. Whenever you're doing something that is completely meat-free, unless you're vegan, you're going to kind of miss something. You're going to say, gosh, this tastes good, but it's just missing something. You'll add a little bit of salt, and that won't really be it. And what it is missing is fat. Whether that's, like I said, butter, lard, vegetable oil, bacon grease, something like that. It's going to need that in order for it to just taste amazing. So I put that in there, and then after I dice the onion and dice the celery, I'm going to cook it and, you know, saute it until they're soft. It'll take about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll get to the next step. Okay, I have the veggies all cut up. Well, I have the onions and the celery all cut up. We're going to put that into the pot with the fat and get that cooking on the stove top as I peel and dice these potatoes. Diced potatoes. Now this is just about 5 cups of diced tomatoes. We're going to put it in the pot that we fried our onions and celery. We're going to put it in there, and then we're going to add 3 cups of chicken broth. The chicken broth that I'm using I actually just made. It's homemade. I have it over here, and so I just ladled out 3 cups of it, and that's going to go in the pot with the potatoes. We're going to cover this and bring it to a boil, and we're going to let it simmer once it comes to a boil for 15 minutes so that the potatoes cook in there, and then we'll add some more things. So I'm just going to get these going so they can start cooking. Can't forget the drop biscuits. Okay, the potatoes are done in here. They're nice and soft. I can poke a fork right through them. So I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to add 2 cups of half and half. So I have 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of cream. I'm going to add to that. I'm going to stir that in, but I'm not going to turn the heat on quite yet. We need to make this thicker, and the way that we're going to do that is we are going to combine 1 cup of, I'm going to use half and half, 1 cup of milk or half and half with a 1/4 cup of flour. And we're also going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper to the soup mixture. So I'm going to quick add the salt and the pepper, and then I'm going to stir up the milk and the flour, and then we're going to add that and stir it all around, and then we're going to bring it to a boil, and then reduce the heat and let it thicken. So I'm going to add the salt and the pepper. And then I'm going to get together that milk and the flour. Okay, here we go with the flour and the milk. We're really just going to whisk that up until it's combined. Basically, you just don't want any lumps of flour in there. And then just dump that right in the soup and stir it in. Okay, we're going to turn the heat back on, and we're going to bring that to a boil, and then we're going to take that down to a simmer so that the flour and the milk can thicken the soup. Well, I think it turned out perfectly. I'm so excited to serve this for dinner. Kevin's back from deer hunting. He's chilled because it's been cold outside, starting a fire to warm up the house, and so it's dinner time. You know, it turned out beautifully. I'm so happy to be fixing some homemade potato soup with our homegrown potatoes, using some raw milk and raw cream in there, and I'm just really happy to get this started for the family. So I also whipped up some drop biscuits. I didn't have a chance to roll them out and stuff, but drop biscuits taste just as good. Some toppings. Today we're going to be using just some sharp cheddar cheese on top, but some other things that would taste really great on top of here would be some crispy bacon, or some green onions would be good in here too. But this is the perfect ending to a nice day out in the cold. So I'm going to get this over to Kevin so he can get started. And you guys, thanks so much for stopping by the homestead. I'm so glad you joined me today. If you're not a subscriber yet, make sure that you hit the subscribe button below. If you have any questions or comments for us, you can do that below in the comments section. And before you go, don't forget to give us a thumbs up on this video. So you guys, thanks so much for spending some time with me today. Take care and God bless.